Hello everyone, my name is Cynthia Alvarado Crawford, and my group and I will be presenting on the Collins Technologies case study. The presentation outline is as follows. I will be covering the background of the company, and then we will go over what the decision problem is. Prince will be going over the class content as it ties into the Collins case study, and Gohar will be covering the alternative solutions for the company. Ken will be covering our group's recommendations, implementation, and action plans in regards to the Collins Technology case study. Collins Technology was founded in 1971 in Nashville, Tennessee. They are a high-tech manufacturer in the interconnect industry. Their organizational structure consists of an independent advisory board, a leadership team, and employee owners. Collins is a manufacturer of single, double, multi-layer circuit boards and rigid flex circuits. Collins' workforce is made up of 120 technical employees, 228 factory employees, and 77 support staff. Collins' customers are essential to sustaining the company. Their customers are made up of the aerospace industry, who are in search of items like cockpit navigation instruments or flight control modules. One of their major customers in the industry for Collins is GBN Corporation. Another client is companies looking for personal electronics who need things like cell phones and satellite cell phones, tablets, microcomputers, cameras, and toys. Some of their major customers in this industry are Nextee, MeToo, and Slecker. And their other type of consumer is contract R&D, who are in need of circuit design assistance in development of fine line imagery and production process. Some of their major customers in this industry are Valley Tech and Newton Computers. In regards to the decision problem, this is what we found. Collins Technology is unclear with their systematic approaches in regards to how to manage innovations, leadership processes, customer support and market segmentation, workforce environment, and team structures. These approaches need to be systematically evaluated in order for these approaches to be improved. This will help Collins achieve their strategic objectives. Collins' performance projections are not evident in their application. There is no apparent systematic approach for using information to anticipate future customer groups and market segments in order to decide who to pursue for business growth or marketing and building relationships in order to secure more customers. And third, Collins has limited and missing results in significant areas like marketing, emergency preparedness, and career path management. The decision that needs to be taken here is that Collins Technologies needs to figure out how to improve these deficiencies in their application so that they can be better contenders for the award, and it needs to be spearheaded by the advisory board and executed by the CEO and the team and staff.
So I'm going to speak about Collins' vision, mission, and values. This is so important because it leads to some of the other concepts which help drive their vision and it helps drive their mission. So the vision is to lead circuitry innovation for the future. So they're looking to grow, they're looking to be a stronger company by developing and innovating new ways of circuitry development. So their mission is to engage customers of interconnect circuitry, who wants products for tomorrow. They also want us to stay in society and the environment, and they're always looking to enhance our communities. The C's, their values, collaboration. They want one team pursuing one vision. They want commitment. We want to deliver on our promises, living up to our values through integrity, trust, and respect. Creativity. That's a part of the continuous innovation, which goes right back to the vision. Courage. They want to be courageous in the way that they pursue business excellence. And lastly, colossal, which they want to be proud of their business performance compared to others. I want to focus on some of the key functional strategies which help guide Collins Technologies' strategy for how they move forward. And three of them that I really want to focus on was first, research and development. Collins uses a basic approach. And that basic approach with the research and development is that they want to lead advancements in the industry, especially in the areas of engineering and research and development. They have a high expertise there. They want to lead it. They want to grow it, and that's where the innovation comes from. That goes back to their mission. In human resources, they have a high commitment to the people. They expect to have exceptional people They want to build lasting relationships with all their customers and stakeholders from this personal, from the personal touch from their employees. They want people that are highly experienced, people that are highly talented, and they invest in the training to make sure that these people are some of the best people in the industry. Last but not least, the marketing strategy, which they use a pull approach. The marketing strategy, they want to focus on loyal customers. They have loyal customers that's been their niche. They want to continue to go after those customers. But they're also, on the four P's, they're also focusing on positioning. They want to position themselves to be one of the strongest companies going forward. And part of that, it goes back to the innovation sector, the research and development, and goes back to the way that we hold our loyal customers. In regard to the market structure and a competitive behavior, Colin Technologies has taken on a nascent competition type strategy. They want to improve the functionality of technology. They do that by now moving, instead of going with the copper wire, they want to move to more conductive materials. So part of them is better technology, better way of using, better way of innovating innovating the circuitry that they spoke about in their mission statement. So that's an important thing. They also want to forge advantageous relationships with channel partners. Their partner suppliers are involved in the entire design process. They have rigorous qualification requirements for these suppliers, and they want these people to be hand in hand with them in the way that they develop their products. Acquiring a core group of loyal customers is also a big part of Collins' strategy. They do this also by doing focus group surveys and really going after those customers to keep them loyal, figure out what their wants, needs, desires are, and then they try to bring it to the table and what they bring. And they've also developed a network of players who commit to the use of the firm's technology as reliable by creating other partnerships with not just their suppliers, but with customers, manufacturers, so forth, so that they could continually develop a product that is above the rest. Okay, I'm gonna speak about a little bit about the SWOT analysis, more along the lines of STEEP, um, which of course stands for the socio-cultural, technological, ecological, economic, and political factors within the environment. So let's start with socio-cultural. The socio-cultural analysis is that they want to provide support and work to strengthen the community in four areas: education, economic development, health, and general community activities. So we'll go more into that later. Technology. Collins wants to be the innovator of the future. That's also another big part of their, another big part of their vision statement. So they got to move forward. They know that right now they have this copper wiring, to which now that they know that they need to go to a more conductive material because of the capacity of silicon chips, which are starting to reach its full capacity according to an EIC report. So to continue to be technologically advanced, they have to move forward, and this is going to help them redefine their niche market. Ecological. Collins processes and products, if not properly controlled, can have a major impact on the environment. The impacts relate to the public health, waste management, environment, and energy conservation. So it's important that they stay on top of this stuff because they're also frequently audited by the Environmental Protection Agency. So that's important. Economic wise, Collins earnings have turnover and incorporates the cost of upgrades and modernization. Why is this so important economically? Well, because that's important in increasing their capital and technology intensive investments, for a company like Collins, and which also helps to drive some of the innovative push in the technological sector. Political. Um, so this is also very important because they have to also keep up with a lot of certifications, a lot of standards that help to especially in their world, to help keep them from being audited and so forth. So it's important that they keep all their they keep everything that could be corporate sustainable together, for just in case of internal and external audits, which would come from not having the certifications necessary within their industry. So now I'm going to talk briefly about the key success factors for Collins Technology. To win over customers, they must have sustainable product development. Now you say, why do you say sustainable? Well, they must have a product that is ecological and environmentally safe. And they do this through their certifications, through making sure that they meet EPA requirements, and making sure that they get other stuff done. But also, that they have enough development within the product, I mean enough growth in it to where customers feel like it's meeting their needs. And of course, that goes back to also what I spoke earlier about them doing focus groups, research surveys, and so forth. And they're pretty strong on this end. I mean, this is one of the strengths of the firm. This is one of the things that keeps them running and that keeps them solid. Also, another key success factor. Now, this one helps more to survive the competition. I put it under research and development, but it's really more innovation, which of course is again a part of their mission statement. Now, why is that so important? Well, they gotta always be trying to create something new. As the copper wire starts to fade, and they start going to new technology, which helps them, with more conductive materials. And as the silicon chips start to fade because of their overuse within the market, they have to always come up with something new. Now, this isn't really a strength or weakness for the firm. It all depends on how they develop, research, and how quickly they're able to move within that environment. So this is in the past has been a strength for them, but now as they redefine the market, they got they got to refigure that out. So of course, this could be a huge point for them. They're an innovative company, but to be innovative, I mean, you always got to have something new. You always got to be going in a new direction, and that's what they're focusing on now. So that's huge.
Although Colin Technologies is an impressive company, there are a few areas of improvement that can potentially make the firm more competitive for the Baldrige Award. We believe that there is a need for Colin Technologies to change their human resources strategy from low commitment to high commitment approach. In particular, we think that the company should focus on improving their technical sector of their employees. Looking at the capacity and capability chart provided in the figure 7.3-1, we can see that the technical capacity is far above their capability, indicating room for improvement. This parallels another part of the provided documentation, figure 7.3-10, depicting training effectiveness of the company. The bar diagram illustrates that although there is a slight improvement over the past few years, the technical employees are still only utilizing 20% of their learning. We believe that if the company can produce more results in the training and performance of their technical employees, it would be a better competitor for the award and be able to produce better products. Along with improving their technical sector, Colin Tech should also focus on how they promote innovative ideas from their employees. In other words, they should focus on moving in the direction of basic approach of R&D strategy. Leadership roles and responsibilities are clearly outlined in Colin's application for the Baldrige Award. The leadership team certainly immerses itself into the employee-owner workforce and keeps open channels of communication. Although they emphasize the importance of innovation in the Collins C's and values, they lack a well-functioning system for the team to create and follow through the plans for development and implementation of innovative ideas. Just keeping the communication channels open is not enough. The leadership team must create an environment where the employees are encouraged and supported in coming up with new ideas and improvement tactics. This should be monitored and developed through the leadership team's already existing plan, do, check, act strategic method. One other option is for the company to create value by offering solutions to satisfy customer needs. Since the company caters to three major categories of consumers, which are aerospace, personal electronics, and contract R&D, they can work on more clearly outlining their plans to ensure that the customers are satisfied by listening to the customer's input. Colin Tech needs to display consistency, balance, and responsiveness in their functional strategies. As far as the strategy in service and customer relations, we believe that Colin Tech should choose the engagement marketing approach. Because of the three types of consumers that the company caters to are fundamentally different and have quite variable needs, a standard approach to customer input for all three will not work. At this point, they seem to be lagging in customer support and satisfaction in the personal equipment sector. Colin Technologies must specifically design communication and feedback mechanisms to ensure that they're able to improve and modify their performance in meeting their customers' needs.
There are many strategic shifts that Colin Technologies could make to improve operations, but the shift that will result in the greatest impact is one focused on improving communication with customers. By making an effort to improve lines of communication, Colin will be able to gather valuable customer feedback and use it to determine what they are doing right and where improvements can be made. The action items that result from customer feedback will also lead to a cascade of subsequent strategic shifts as Colin learns from its customers. Colin Technologies operates in 3 key sectors: aerospace, contract R&D, and personal electronics. This limited but specific consumer base can be advantageous to Colin in this case because implementation of our recommendation will be a lot easier. This strategy tailors Colin products and operations directly to customers and would not be feasible with a larger, more diverse customer base. Here we integrated our recommendation with Colin Technologies' existing Plan, Do, Check, Act framework. Initial planning involves the selection of targets and metrics that Colin Technologies is concerned about or that might reveal strengths and weaknesses in Colin's products and operations. Then a series of probes, such as surveys, interviews, and site visits, are created to gather customer feedback quickly and in large volume. These probes are then put out to collect information over time. Colin then periodically checks results and analyzes feedback. The feedback should reveal Colin's strengths and weaknesses and should indicate what customers deem important. From that information, Colin creates a list of action items and strategies to improve and acts accordingly. The cycle then repeats itself, and each time the process is refined and streamlined so that the right questions get asked and so that the right actions are taken. In order to initially get that cycle started, the first thing that needs to happen is the creation of a team of customer relations personnel, management, and representatives from critical parts of the company. This team will be dedicated to our recommended strategy, and they will create and refine the customer feedback collection process. They will be responsible for scheduling and hosting site visits, running loyalty programs, and offering incentives. In each sector, several modes of feedback collection will be implemented. In the aerospace and R&D sectors, site visits can be held during which customers can interact with Colin Technologies, see how they operate, offer suggestions, and ask questions. Surveys will be a component of this plan in all 3 sectors, but mass polls will be good for the personal electronics sector because of its vastness. Surveys can be coupled with incentives for completing the survey, such as discounts or preferred customer status. Follow-ups on transactions and contract work will offer another opportunity for interfacing. Periodically checking in with customers will also likely improve communication and general relationships with customers. In aerospace and personal electronics, where products are actually physically made and sold in significant quantity, a loyalty program with special benefits will likely improve customer satisfaction and encourage customers to interact with Colin more. In contract R&D, follow-ups to contracts by a customer relations rep can encourage communication when the contract is fresh in the minds of the customers. Because of the size and format of the personal electronics sector, a customer database will be created and tracked, and a flagging system can alert Colin of large orders or repeat purchases. Those significant customers can then be contacted directly and asked to provide feedback. A hotline and live chat system should also be put in place for customers to ask questions, provide suggestions, and establish a relationship with Colin. Accountability measures will be put into place to ensure the process works and remains sustainable. In the check phase of the implementation plan, an analysis of the communication network and customer feedback collection system will allow for changes to be made in the act phase to refine probes and take corrective actions. The analysis of the communication network and feedback system will require some key metrics that will be the basis for evaluation. Firstly, the probes should be quantified. Colin should be aware of the number and types of probing methods being used and what other options might be available. Customers can also be asked whether or not they think the feedback system is beneficial to them. The number of responses should definitely be tracked, such as completed surveys, suggestions offered, and chat sessions completed. The nature of the feedback will indicate the value of the suggestions and comments received, whether positive, negative, or neutral. This strategy would be worthless if no action items were generated from customer feedback. Therefore, it is important that Colin monitors the number of action items generated and how many of those are successfully completed. Customers should occasionally be asked how they feel about their relationship with Colin Technologies because the nature of the relationship might bias the results. Also, with the implementation of this strategy, we should see improvements in the relationships over time. Finally, Colin's investment in this strategy over time should be monitored to ensure it is properly funded and staffed. Carefully evaluating the strategy over time using these metrics will help ensure its success and sustainability. It's also important for Colin to remain adaptive so that the process and metrics can be refined. That concludes our presentation. Thank you.